Hello and welcome back to the Love and Dating podcast. I'm your host, your dost Niyuti Srivastav, and today we are diving into a topic that has sparked a lot of confusion for many people, especially those in their 20s and 30s who are navigating the world of dating. We are asking the big question today. How do you tell if it's love or infatuation? This is something I get asked a lot. In the early stages of a relationship, it's easy to feel overwhelmed with emotions, excitement, and that heady rush. But when the dust settles, you might start wondering, what exactly am I feeling? Is it real love or is it just a temporary infatuation? Let's break it down and figure out the difference so you can make sense of those feelings and take control of your dating life. Now, before we jump into the details, let me tell you a story about a guy I once worked with. Let's call him Karthik. Karthik was in his early 30s when he came to me for advice. He had been dating a woman for about 6 months, and at first, everything seemed perfect. They would go on fun dates, spend hours talking, and had great chemistry. Karthik told me, "Niyuti, I think she's the one. I've never felt this way about anyone before." But as time passed, things started to shift. Karthik noticed that when he wasn't with her, he started to feel anxious, almost obsessed. He would think about her constantly, what she was doing, who she was with, whether she liked him as much as he liked her. Whenever they had disagreements or moments of silence, he would spiral into insecurity, wondering if things were falling apart. He even found himself checking her social media more than he cared to admit. Now, don't get me wrong. These feelings of excitement and eagerness are natural in the early stages of a relationship. But the problem here was that Karthik was having trouble distinguishing between what was real love and what was the intense emotional roller coaster of infatuation. I had to help Karthik take a step back and reflect on his feelings. Was these feelings of intense attraction and obsession really rooted in deep emotional connection? Or was it just a fleeting infatuation? After a lot of reflection, Karthik realized that his feelings were actually fueled more by a desire of validation than by true emotional intimacy. He had been caught in the whirlwind of infatuation, which often involves idealizing the other person, focusing on the high of new attraction, and feeling consumed by thoughts of them. It's an intense experience, but it's not always built on a solid foundation of trust and mutual understanding. The infatuation often fizzles out once the reality of the relationship settles in. The key takeaway from Karthik's story is that infatuation can cloud your judgment, making it difficult to see things clearly. Love, on the other hand, is built on deeper emotional intimacy, respect, and a genuine connection. It's steady, not just a high of excitement and desire. Let's break this down into a few key points that can help you identify whether what you are feeling is love or just infatuation. The first one is duration of feelings. Infatuation tends to be intense but short-lived. It's that initial rush of attraction when everything feels new and exciting. You might feel as though you can't stop thinking about the other person, but this feeling often fades once the novelty wears off. Love, however, is more enduring. It doesn't rely on the initial spark of excitement. It grows over time as you build trust, share experiences, and develop emotional intimacy. It's steady and deeper than just a fleeting attraction. The second one is focus on the other person. Infatuation often leads you to focus on the other person's appearance, their flaws, or how they make you feel. It's almost like you are in love with the idea of them rather than the actual person. You might find yourself ignoring red flags or brushing off behaviors that are not healthy, just because you're so caught up in the rush. Love, on the other hand, is about appreciating and respecting the other person for who they are, flaws and all. Love isn't blind to imperfections. It's grounded in the understanding that no one is perfect, and it's about accepting them as they are. The third one is emotional stability. When you are infatuated, your emotions are often on a roller coaster. You feel euphoric when things are going well, but the moment there is a challenge or a disagreement, you may feel devastated or anxious. Infatuation can make you emotionally unstable because it's based on external factors like validation and desire. Love, however, provides emotional stability. Even during tough times, there is a deeper sense of connection and trust that keeps you grounded. Love is resilient. It's able to withstand challenges and conflicts in a relationship without causing overwhelming emotional highs and lows. The fourth one is willingness to commit. Infatuation can be thrilling, but it's often tied to short-term satisfaction. You might not feel ready to commit, and you may be hesitant to dive deep into the relationship. The excitement of being in a new connection might be enough to keep you hooked for a while, but long-term commitment doesn't seem as appealing when you are infatuated. Love, however, fosters commitment. It's about sharing your life with someone and building a future together. You are invested in the relationship, and you are willing to put in the effort to nurture it over time. That's a desire for partnership and long-term growth. So, why does it matter whether you are in love or just infatuated? Well, it's important because infatuation can often cloud your judgment, leading you to make decisions that aren't in line with what you truly want or need in a partner. If you mistake infatuation for love, you could end up in a relationship that isn't fulfilling or healthy in the long run. On the other hand, understanding the difference and being able to distinguish love and infatuation allows you to approach relationships with more clarity and intention. You will be able to build a connection that's based on mutual respect, trust, and emotional depth. If you're ready to stop guessing and start understanding your feelings better, I invite you to join us in the Dating Right workshop. This workshop is all about helping you gain clarity in your dating life, whether you are navigating love, infatuation, or somewhere in between. We will dive deeper into understanding emotional connections, building lasting relationships, and most importantly, attracting and keeping the right partner. Also, if you want to connect personally, you can book a one-to-one call with me. So, if you are ready to build relationships based on real love, click the links in the description to register for the upcoming Dating Right workshop or book a one-to-one call with me. Let's break through the confusion and start building meaningful connections today. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Love and Dating podcast. I hope today's discussion helped you understand the difference between love and infatuation and gave you some clarity in your dating journey. Until next time, take care and remember, real love is about connection, not just attraction. And keep finding one because remember, you deserve the love.